do like Sexy Red.
I like Sexy Red too.
I do like Sexy Red.
I like Glorilla.
Love Glorilla.
You know what I'm saying?
Love Glow. And I like Lotto. I like Lotto a lot.
Lyrically, I like Lotto.
Yeah, I don't share you guys' sentiments.
Me either.
No?
I ain't gonna mind.
I'm cool with Scarlett.
Yeah.
Sexy Red. I don't disagree with her as a person. What she's representing, I'm not so cool with that.
Money conversations, we've been making business moves. Contemplating how to get it, need to get in tune. Different topics, we got options, you could pick and choose. If more income ain't the outcome, gotta switch the mood. We tryna help you to improve, thanks for asking. Road to riches, speak on broker days and past tense. Wealthy habits, lately I just wanna stack chips. Took a risk and we've been running up a bag since. G-Vast Quest, quick to make a couple G's. Detox, spin knowledge, put you on your feet. Bug out, got the plate, make sure to pray before you eat. At the table with the winners, come and take a seat.
You?
G, you ready, bro?
So far?
Okay,
So
okay.
far, so
Detox,
good.
what up, baby?
Yo.
Yo. For the next episode of Thanks for Asking, we have the lovely Bianca. She came on our couch. She gonna tell our story.
Yeah.
Yo, Detox, start the interview to drop this shit. No doubt.
You welcome.
Thanks for coming. Bianca, it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I like that. I like the way that sounds. You know what I'm saying? I like the way that sounds. We gonna get right into it. What was it like growing up?
Growing up, well, I grew up in the Bronx. Well, actually, I was born in Jamaica, Queens. Fun fact.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
My building was right on down the block from the F train, Parsons Boulevard. That was my first home.
Okay.
I lived there until I was about 6, and then we moved to the Bronx.
You was all the way around.
Word.
Everyone said that. Everyone said that. Like, why would your mother move from Queens? But listen, my mother marches to the beat of her own drum. But growing up, I mean, it was a little rough. You know, your typical like New York City upbringing. You know what I mean? So,
Especially if it's in the Bronx, right?
oh, absolutely, defying a lot of odds. You know.
Definitely had to learn how to have a fight. So what do you do?
What do I do? Well,
Yes.
I do publicity for my own company called Orchid Media. So my clients are Ish, Corey Guns, and I work with Gucci Mane's newer artists like Set, Matt Critter, Lil Rye.
Nice. Nice.
That's
So
dope.
that's what I do. And I also do Apartment 5H with DJ Self. So I
Apartment
executive
5H.
produce and co-host on that.
That's dope.
That's dope.
That's what they doing the freestyle. I mean, not the freestyle, but they rapping at the thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope. That's a
Thank
dope.
you, thank you.
What is a publicist?
So a publicist, I guess you can say it's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like a manager, assistant, like all balled up in one, right? But basically what we do is we take on a client, depending on whether it's a brand new client, they may need a biography. So we kind of like set you up for success. And then we scout different type of media outlets and opportunities that we feel would elevate your brand.
Okay.
And we secure you opportunities, basically. And we also make sure that when you're on interviews, you don't say anything crazy to incriminate yourself.
Right,
We do a lot of damage control too. You know.
Is etiquette classes involved with that?
So sometimes we do media training. Well, I do media training specifically.
Right.
Especially for like the younger artists where they're just getting
Because
their
they
feet
need
wet.
that. That's why. They need it.
Yeah. I mean, I do media training. Not every publicist does, but I do it because prior to this, I was the managing editor at Double XL. So I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for
crazy.
6 years. So I know obviously like what these outlets like look for.
Yeah.
Shit that you can say that may snowball into something else, and you probably, you know what I mean? So since I have that media mind in general, it definitely helps when I do publicity because I know what to tell people to do and what not to do.
Is that the difference between, is a publicist the same as a PR? That's the same
Yes.
thing? Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, okay.
Public relations. Yeah.
Okay.
How did you get into this? What made you want to be into publicist? I mean, I'm really starting to ask that now, knowing as I'm learning how misogynist and sexist the entertainment business is. Like, what made you, a lovely lady, want to get inside of this industry?
Well, I started in the music industry in 2016.
Okay.
But I was in the media industry from 2012. Prior to that, I was a case manager. So what happened was I was in social services, and one day I just decided I wanted to move to like North Carolina, right? I took a vacation to one of my friends, and I'm like, oh my God, you have a washer and dryer in the unit and a parking spot for $700?
Oh, you got open on that.
I did, because I'm born and raised in New York City. I didn't go away to school, so I felt like I needed a break. So when I went to North Carolina, I ended up doing some volunteer work for Carolina Style magazine. So they were an online platform, and it kind of like piqued my interest when it came to like writing and stuff like that. So I taught myself. I mean, I was always good in writing. Like that was like the best subject in school. But as far as like being online, like I taught myself how to build a site, like the same stuff that you did for yourself when it comes to the camera stuff. I did that when it came to like writing and doing online media. Right. So I took that knowledge. Of course, I came back from North Carolina.
That 700 wasn't that enticing.
Because it's hard to find a job down there too. Like I was already used to making a certain amount. So down there, I was like, now I see why it's $700.
They ain't paying much. It's a struggle the same way.
100%.
Now I see why it's $700.
100%. It balances out. I mean, granted, listen, the lifestyle is really nice, but I missed my home. So I came back and I took that title because I ended up becoming their lifestyle editor. And I took that title, came back to New York City, and I really grinded. I started going to like fashion weeks because it was like a fashion lifestyle publication. So I just like rubbed shoulders with people. My cousin was a legislator in Dutchess County. I ended up like helping her build her site and running her shit. So I just like really did a lot of groundwork, and I ended up getting my first full-time job at Fashion Times downtown. I worked there for about a year. But while I was working for them, I also had my own blog called the Hip Hop Times, because even though I was working in fashion media, I knew like hip hop was like my core. That was something that I didn't sorry to say, no disrespect, but I didn't care about the Royals or what was going on with Taylor Swift. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not
100%.
No disrespect. But that wasn't my core. That wasn't what I was naturally interested in. So I was like, let me just do this hip hop site and see how it goes, because that was at the time where it was like the Wild West online, like sometimes you just had to throw something and something would catch, So I did that for a little while. And then I saw an opening at XXL. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take my hardcore media experience, but I got this hip-hop blog as a portfolio to show Vanessa that I knew what was going on in the industry. So I printed out my whole shit, like my whole site. Like I was like, And so shout out to Vanessa. And I also, Kim Osorio. I interviewed her.
Shout out to Kim Osorio.
Shout out to her.
She definitely was a trendsetter in the game.
Yes,
especially as a female, like
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. And she let me use her as a reference too, and she didn't have to do that.
That's dope.
She was really dope about So everything just panned out. I got the job, and then I ended up in the music industry.
So what was it like working at an editorial like that?
It was so dope. I mean, look, I love what I do now.
XXL was rocking that one.
Word. That was when we did also the 2016 freshman, where everyone loves. It was like Kodak Black, 21 Savage. It was that was my first freshman cover.
Right.
So
that wound up. It's so funny to me. Like that wound up being so iconic, and that was like to me later on in XXL fame, because to me, like, I'm a kid. I was a kid at the time, but when 50 Cent did it at 2003, I was like, damn, this shit get no bigger than this, man. But when they started doing those freshman classes, it was just like that shit meant something again. You know what I'm saying? Like, these is the up and coming artists and stuff like that. So that was like a real moment and stuff like that.
A big moment.
I was like, that's dope. I don't know when it started dying down again, but I guess when the paper magazine started really going out of print.
Yeah, I mean, it was still, we only did 4 issues a year while I was there. That's when they just started doing 4 issues a year, because I think they did monthly.
Do monthly.
Yeah, they did monthly, probably till like 2014.
Yeah.
They just started doing like quarterly.
I was just about to say that was the quarterly, right?
But that was a great experience. I got to do so many things that I never thought or dreamed that I would be able to do.
You met a lot of people at that time, right?
You met everybody there.
A lot of people, a lot of industry relationships. And Vanessa was really good at like fostering my career growth too. So shout out to her.
Do you still have those relationships?
Yep.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
A lot of those relationships still help me to this day with my career, to be honest with you.
That's good.
Is that what made you want to become a publicist? Like, I don't want to say that's an odd thing, but most people want to be the face, or they want to be an artist, or they want to be, you know what I'm saying, a record company owner or something. A publicist, I don't hear too many people saying, hey, I want to be a publicist. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That comes from me always wanting to be a protector. So like even when I did interviews, like I would ask the questions that I would have to ask, like if someone had a case pending or if someone was just arrested right before the interview. Like as a journalist, you have to ask that question.
Yeah.
But I would never ask it in a way where I was trying to like throw them under the bus. Like I was always protective about my relationships and the artists.
Can you give an example of what the differences are? Because when you, at least for me, doing this, it is a fine line where, like you said, you have to ask the questions. Where sometimes I don't be wanting to ask the question because I be like, I already know the answer already. But somebody else don't know the answer. Your audience don't know the answer, and it's like, what do what you gonna do to act? You gotta ask them and stuff like that. Like, how do you navigate through that? Like, how are you doing that with kid gloves? What does that look like?
I think it's the tone and how you go about it. Like if you come at it like real schemy, like, so I heard that you did X, Y, and Z, and so why did you do that? Like, no, I come at it like, I gotta ask you this. You know that you were just arrested for X, Y, and Z.
Like messy.
Right? It's the tone. It's the tone. Not being messy.
But I feel like even with the internet, they don't. The trolls don't care.
No, they're gonna take it however they do. Yeah. Like that's just what it is. But at least your relationship with that rapper in your camp, at least you save that. Yeah. But you also still have to do your job at the same time. Now, if you do your job and they still take offense to it, then there's nothing you can do about that. You have a job to do. But depending on your tone, as long as you don't come out messy, a lot of the times they understand that.
Right.
That's crazy because we going through that stage right now. We don't really know like the messy questions and the regular questions to somebody. So it's like, I know what you're saying now, Detox, because it's like, do they look at me like an asshole because I'm asking the question? Because I feel like I'm getting that sometimes. Like,
but we gotta ask
the question. So
we had Ness on here. Like, you're gonna have Ness. We're gonna sit Ness down and not ask Ness about Puff Daddy?
But the way you put it, I get what you're saying. Yeah. She's saying the way you put it, right? You're not trying to be right.
The way you frame it.
The way
you word it, right?
Like, you know what's going on with Diddy.
Yeah.
You had a relationship with him at one time. I hate to ask you, but people do want to know. And that's how you go about it.
Yeah. How many of those times, were there any of those times in the magazine that you had to navigate through? Was there any like one specific time where you remember like, damn, I really ain't want to ask this question, but
yes, there was a time I didn't want to ask the question, but I had to. But I framed it the same way, like, I fuck with you, but
what was the question?
Right. Well, who was it?
I'm not gonna say the rapper.
Okay.
But,
just say the question.
He was arrested for domestic violence.
Oh wow!
And I had to ask that question.
And what was the answer? He did it.
Well, the answer was that they argued, and they lived in a nice area. And
that was his answer.
Yes, that was his answer, and I gotta take it. I wasn't there. There was no.
But
that's
it was
another
a
thing.
yes to he did the domestic violence.
No. It was that they argued. Their voices were raised. Yeah. Their neighbors got a little afraid, and they called the authorities.
Gotcha.
That was the answer. And that's why you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? Because at the end of the day, if there's no video, because nowadays, video incriminates you, really. So if something like that happens and there's no video, then you can't really say anything like that. That's their answer. Yeah. Unless you, as we've seen with a lot of rappers or just even actors, celebrities in general, when you see them on camera, hitting a woman or just doing something illegal, then it's like, you were caught on camera. You did do it. Even if you try to navigate it a different way, you did do it here.
Especially you got the cameras there.
Take me through a day of what it's like to be a publicist.
It depends on the day. Every day is different. Like, if your client is in town, you're probably waking up early, getting ready to navigate, like just going to the city, meeting up with them at one location, getting them the interview done, leaving there, going to another location, getting another interview done. So you're bouncing around from different media outlets. Or sometimes on a regular day, if they're not in town and they're not doing a press run, you wake up, I mean, depending on what's going on, you know, if they have a song or an album coming out, you put together a press release. You put together a list of different media outlets that you want to pitch the press release to, or their music, or depending on what project they have. And a lot of the times it's keeping your relationships intact. Hey, how you doing? Everything good? You know, like.
Right. Do you set up the interviews? Do you set them up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's the best part of being a publicist?
The best part of being a publicist is securing like a really good look for a client that elevates their portfolio.
You mean good luck? What do you mean?
Meaning like, okay, sometimes you'll get artists or even a client. I'm not going to say artists because I have more than just artists.
Yeah.
You have a client and, you know, depending on what their background is, they have to do smaller outlets for a little while.
Yeah.
You got to build, right? You can't pitch someone to a big outlet and they've never done, like you can't pitch someone to like a Billboard, but they've never done like a Hip Hop DX, for instance. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to start with, you know, not calling just a certain level, you know what I mean? And so you got to build. So the best part about that is building with your client, like especially with the 1017 artists. Like I have seen, specifically Set, like I have seen him grow. Like we have done a lot of interviews at the ground level. You know, I'll give him feedback after the interviews. Like next time, make sure you say it this way, or make sure that, you know, you slow down your answer so we can hear exactly what you're saying. And to see him grow now, like now when he does these other outlets, I don't really have to worry about him anymore.
You done groomed him.
I groomed him and now he's flying. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's like watching a child grow. It's like, oh, fly, you know?
How do you pick these artists or your clients?
I think I have to believe in them. I have to like their music. Like, even though I'm not 26, I'm not, you know, a spring chicken, but I still like the ratchet shit. You know what I mean? So I can hear something and be like, okay, that's a good song. He has potential. Even if it's not a song that's all over the place. It could be a low key song, but I know a good song when I hear one. You know? So I'm like, okay, I have to believe in someone in order to pitch them, because then it will just come naturally when I type out something. If I don't believe in someone, it's really hard for me to put together like a pitch or a press release, or even be excited to like just pitch them out to people, like, because they can tell when you believe in someone.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like being authentic in everything I do. So
You ever believed in somebody and they didn't live up to the potential?
that hasn't happened just yet. I know it does happen. I'm still really early in this. I started doing publicity 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I did when I left XXL, I did something freelance for like about a month, and then I ended up working for an indie publicity company for about a year. and I did that for a year, and I decided to go off on my own because I wanted to do media again.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And, you know, self-presenting me with
everybody want to be in front of the camera.
I did. And even, not just that, but even produce content. Because I'm not on every single Apartment 5H episode.
I seen, and sometimes he's not on it either. Sometimes it's y'all. It was another individual like
Gray Rizzy from Sirius. He's from Sirius. Yeah. So we you know, we alternate, but I'm always behind the camera. You know what I mean? So I miss producing content as much as I love publicity, but producing content is really my love.
What was the idea behind 5H? Take me to that.
So the idea was for it to be a talk show.
Really?
It's supposed to be a talk show.
Like a Jenny Jones type thing?
Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, a little Geraldo.
Thanks for asking.
A little thanks for asking. That was the vision. That was the vision. So we try to have people from all walks of life on there, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely like, thanks for asking. We got a lot of people from all over things. You know
and sometimes it's just us chopping it up. You know what I mean? About trending news, depending.
That's really cool.
That's dope. Who was your biggest guest? My fault, D-Top.
Our biggest guest so far?
Who's your favorite guest?
My favorite?
After you finish answering
Louisiana.
whatever.
All right. I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
One, I'm going to say Ish.
Ish seems.
He
I like Ish interviews. I ain't gonna hold you.
He's my client, but and he's my friend, but he gives some dope dialogue.
He do.
He puts me onto game sometimes.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Well, men do this because X, Y, Z." I'm like, "Oh, that's why they do that."
I don't know how good that is.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm joking.
No, but no, it is good.
Yeah. There you go.
And my other favorite, well, I guess I could say, I don't know, I love them all, but that Mexican OT.
Oh, I seen some of that. I seen some of the clips of that one.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. It was he was just like chill, laid back. I mean, we touched on some music stuff, but it was really more of a personal interview. I learned about fish skin boots.
Fish skin boots?
Fish skin. That was my reaction. That was my reaction.
Wow.
He's from Houston or something. Where is he from?
I believe he's from. Oh, don't hate me. I'm sorry. I know Texas. I think it may be Houston. It may be Houston.
It was Houston.
Maybe, and he's dope. He's dope. He's a new artist. He's very young, but he's super dope.
Yeah, he live a different life. Like I'm from New York, so big buildings and concrete streets. That's
Yeah,
you
me
know,
too.
that shit is a little different. They got big guns and gators, and no, they don't have gators out there.
And dirt floors. Right?
I'm not gonna go that far.
Concrete street?
Yeah, but it's roads.
I love all states. I'm not.
Yeah.
But and also
No, I don't
deep
love
down-
all states. I won't go that far. I don't love Wisconsin.
Really? I mean, I've never
Wisconsin
been.
is like the worst place for a black man.
You been there?
No, but
Don't do that.
they no. He
What
laughing.
make
I'm-
you
No,
say?
but tell it, no,
what
but
make
you
you say-
laughing, I can't
I can laugh at what I want to
I
laugh
can't
at.
talk when you're laughing.
I can laugh though. You don't tell me I can't
But
laugh.
hold on. What's that like opposed to like Maine or Montana or any other one of those racist states that might be racist?
I would like to explain, but they just keep talking.
No,
Yeah.
come on. I want to hear you. Tell
Thank
me.
you. But they build their books on arresting black people. Like it is one of the most. Everybody over there is being racially profiled and stuff like that. That is not a good. At least Milwaukee, that is not a good state to live in if you're raising your black child or something like that. You will most likely get arrested over there. Because I mean, they even have ball players.
Get arrested in Wisconsin.
They have ball players being racially profiled over there. It was a couple years ago, but yeah, that's not one of the better states to live in if you're a black man. So that's why I say that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to me, I would never want to get caught up in the law, like, because sometimes you be sitting there looking at the things, and I don't want to get into no racial conversations, but it just be like they don't get persecuted the same as they don't get judged the same as black people.
I feel like that's a lot of states though.
Definitely a lot of states, but that was one that stuck out. That was one that stuck out. But yeah, definitely, you got Floridas and stuff like that that's getting crazy about a minute.
That state is getting crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, but that was one of the states. So, go ahead and laugh.
Let me laugh.
You took the lust out of laughing, so I don't have to laugh.
That was my point.
Let me laugh.
That's a valid concern. Though.
Yeah.
That's a valid concern.
How you gonna say go ahead and laugh?
So when you started Apartment 5H, like, what was your idea to make it grow? Because I do want to bring up the business aspect of it, especially since you're the executive producer. Because I know it's fun to do it artfully, like that keeps you going, but like financially, like how are you looking for sponsors and things of that nature if somebody wanted to start a podcast?
Oh, I can't drop all the gems.
No,
but
drop.
you know what? We haven't even gotten to that point yet because we're still working on awareness.
Just growing the brand.
We're still trying to grow the brand before we start tackling that because we want to make sure that when you look at our numbers and you look at the content, like we want to make sure that it's like you can look and just be like, oh yeah. So we're still working on like awareness and growing.
Did you grow up in an apartment building?
Yes.
Was 5H your apartment?
It was 1G, like one girlfriend.
One girlfriend?
I used to always tell. I tell my boyfriend 1G, like one girl.
I was 5C. That's why I did grow up in
okay.
the projects, but that's what made me think about it when I saw that 5H.
Self named
figured
it
it.
that. He
Why?
said he said something about an apartment 5H. It had to do with Jim Jones. I forgot the story.
But he's not.
Was that in a song? I feel like that might have been
Maybe
in
it was in a
song.
song.
that he
Maybe
said.
it was something. It was something. I forgot the story because Self talks a lot, but I forgot the
That's why
story.
he belong on the show.
Right. He's in the right place.
How'd you meet Self?
He used to do the freshman shows for Double XL.
What do you mean he used to do the freshman
He used
show?
to DJ because Double XL used to do a New York show and an LA show. So he used to do the New York shows as a DJ.
Oh, so you knew him for a while then. That's Self does everything.
Yeah, he does. No, he does. And you know, he's really dope about it. Like, you know, he's someone that really likes the newer generation of artists. The newer generation of artists respect him. So,
what do you think about the newer generation right now? There's so many. It's different now. Like, there's girls who rap.
I mean, they're rapping.
Seriously rap.
Yeah,
You
they're
know what I'm saying?
I love it. Like I said, I mean, I look, my favorite rapper of all time is Nas. That's just what it is. But I actually,
he's number 2 for me.
He's my favorite, and I love Fabulous too. I think that he's very underrated.
He's in your top 5?
He is in my top 5.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm
He's
not.
very
I'm mad at
underrated.
that.
His mixtapes.
He's
His
nice.
mixtapes carry him up there.
And his lyrically,
Lyrically,
he's
he's
nice.
nice. Lyrically,
he's up there.
He's a
up
beast,
there.
you know.
He's up there.
But I do like Sexy Red.
I like Sexy Red too.
I do like Sexy Red.
I like Glorilla.
Love Glorilla.
You know what I'm saying?
Love Glow. And I like Lotto. I like
like
Lotto a
Lotto.
lot.
What about you?
Lyrically, I like Lotto.
Yeah, I don't share you guys' sentiments.
Me either.
No?
Me either. I ain't gonna lie.
You know why I like Lotto and not Lotto. You know why I like Glorilla and Sexy Red and the Scar Lips? That's them. Like, they not faking that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm cool with Scarlett.
Yeah.
Scarlett is all right. She's more authentic in rap. Sexy Red, I don't disagree with her as a person. Like, I don't know her, but what she's standing for, like what she's representing, I'm not so cool with that.
Yeah,
right?
I can understand that.
I'm not so cool with her not understanding, going to a high school, smelling like weed, and they telling you can't perform, and she doesn't understand that. So she goes out the top of the sunroof and start twerking in front of the high school.
Yeah, I'm not twerking is not for the kids. I can agree. I can agree on that.
That right there, just whatever.
but she a kid though. You judging her?
I'm judging her.
But not only that. But listen, I will say, people go at her. She's one of the few female rappers that people go at her, and she never comes out disrespectful though.
Yeah.
And I do give her credit for that.
I'm not
for
accusing
real.
her of being disrespectful.
No, I know. I'm just saying with all the
she
other
might be the sweetest
shenanigans.
girl here. She come over here, we can hang out and do. But that shit is wretched or ratchet, whatever word people like to use.
I understand.
They both mean the same thing.
I mean, you can either like it or don't. That's all.
But that's
too.
it. But I don't think she's faking. Like, that. I don't. I think if she was broke, that's her.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, if she is that. And we all, to me, in America.
It's like Epstein being true to himself. But go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Whoa,
please.
whoa.
Don't put her in that same category.
He's
That's
true.
crazy.
No, he's just making a point.
No,
of
No,
somebody
he
being-
hides who
You gotta
he
make a different
No, it's
point.
a difference. He hides who he tries to be. He's really
He's hiding.
He's hiding that.
And he's
I got
hurting
you.
people.
and hurting people.
That's the
She's not
difference.
doing that.
Let me take that back.
Yeah, please.
Let's get another name.
She,
I don't mean that.
Cut that.
I don't forgot what I was about to say, but she, like, she's authentic, and America. A lot of people think when we look at like our American leaders, the Rockefellers, the Malcolm X's, and all of that, they all did things they weren't proud of at young ages. They didn't know better, but when they knew better, they do better. She's still at that stage where she's growing, and a lot of them are growing, and they don't understand. A lot of them may not understand the effects that they have on the children. I mean, but that's just human nature. You don't realize till later.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the time to commend somebody is when they're doing something well, not when they're doing wrong. Right? Like, hold on, time out. When Malcolm X was a pimp, it wasn't out there to go tell Malcolm X, you a solid brother out there, right? Not until he turns his life around and be who he becomes, that's when you commend him. Not for that.
I like to give him grace. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving him grace. I'm giving her grace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now sometimes you gotta let people know what it is, and I don't think that is. And sometimes I think if you don't tell people what it is, they go around thinking that's fine, and hopefully that they can find around and change their life around. Sometimes they might just be that old fool. Some people might not never change.
Yeah, but she also gained success by doing
I'm
what
not
she's
talking about
doing.
just her, right? She's definitely successful.
No, I'm just saying.
She's
So it's
super
going to be
successful.
hard for her to be receptive to that
Yeah.
feedback
Exactly,
because
and that's
this is,
what I'm talking
That's
about.
it.
When you been successful being who you are. Change for what?
Yeah.
Right? I got more than you being you.
So telling you you doing wrong ain't gonna change you either.
No,
No. She's at the point where she's at the point where you like it or not. This is why.
Yeah. I'm not here to tell her she's doing. No.
Yeah, but you said sometimes you gotta tell her no. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, whether they do it or not. What's the name to me? And I say that because
I meant to be stand on your principle, no matter because you're making you money or not.
No,
if
but
that's who you are. I am who I am.
Let's
so
not talk about this.
Somebody's making some money.
Forever. You know, G.
But my point is though, because somebody's making some money in a fashion that I ain't cool with.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make a difference to me.
Yeah,
right. I am who I am.
You can even like it or not. That's all to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, next topic. Because we've talk about this all day. This is the barber shop.
You know
what I'm saying? That's why I don't want to go too far in it. What was one of the wackiest guests you had?
You had Sexy Red on your stage though?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say. I feel bad.
You gotta say it. Come on.
We got one. We ain't put it out yet, but we got a real wacky one where you just like.
I don't want to call him wacky. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you gotta say the name. Just tell us the context.
Okay.
No, I don't wanna
That's a better word.
Yeah, that's a better word.
He was interesting. He wasn't wacky.
Okay.
I think the most interesting guest that we've had is probably Keith Murray.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be interesting.
He was interesting.
But you know what though? It's like I said with the Sexy Red. You gotta accept him for what he is. That's what he is.
Yeah, and that's a good category. I will line him up with.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we had interesting one that just passed. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So
very interesting.
I know what interesting means.
Yeah.
He was interesting.
Yeah.
Quirky and shit.
And
like
I still like to give him look, he's still a legacy rapper.
He is.
I like to give him his respect regardless of what we see online, and everyone knows the deal. We know what it is, but I still feel like he deserves his respect. So that's why I want to call him.
How long ago you had him?
This was probably exactly a year ago.
It was a good interview though?
It was a good. I mean, he had stories for days.
Yeah.
I just saw this new video online with somebody trying to give money. Is that new or is that before? That
was from the same episode. We held that clip for a little while and then we released it a little while after that. Because sometimes it's like, you got to keep pumping out content.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, so y'all don't. So sometimes y'all hide like a piece. Y'all be.
Depending, sometimes you gotta you don't want to flood too much.
Like $20, give him $20 or something.
Oh my God!
Was it 20? No, he wouldn't say $20.
I think it was $20.
No, it was. I think it was more like his publishing. That's what it was. He was requesting his publishing.
I don't remember. This video I saw, somebody rolled up on him. He wasn't doing too well. He wasn't having a good time.
I mean, we pray for him.
And
we pray for him.
And he told him to stop filming him and give him $20. Something like that. But
I'm not mad at it. You know, pay him. He's a legacy rapper.
Pay that man.
Pay that
man in full.
In cash.
In cash. How do you grow a podcast?
I think it's consistency, really. Consistency is everything. Like, you just got to keep going.
Mm-hmm. We agree 100%.
I don't know about that.
You don't agree with consistency?
Do you keep being consistent if you're bad?
Well, I think consistency will get you better, though.
Very good point.
Consistency should get you better. The more you do something, the better you should. You should.
But that don't mean that it will happen.
That's not for you then.
But in order to see whether or not you are good, you got to be consistent. Because look, initially it's not gonna pan out the way you want. You think you're gonna get all these numbers off GP? That's not gonna happen.
It don't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. But work and consistency. And if you've been doing this for 3 years and it's not going anywhere,
it takes some time.
My point. That's my point. I see a lot of podcasters, right? I'm not saying no names. 3-4 years, 30-something views. Like what's going on? Like, why are you keep going?
Well,
maybe
it's
just
really
their
consistent,
passion.
though.
No, it is consistent.
Yeah.
It is consistent.
It's definitely something that be like that.
Yeah.
I seen them. Like, why ain't they popular? Know what I'm saying?
I mean, you gotta
Something's
have
wrong.
good headlines. You gotta think about keywords.
Yeah.
Like, topics. You got to have good topics, right? Because we were just talking about how you don't always have to have a celebrity to get the views.
That's a fact.
You just got to have an interesting
That's
conversation,
a fact.
and you got to take that headline.
That's definitely talk about
it's
that.
all about the headline.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's all about the
That's
headline.
right.
So you also so consistency, and you also got to have sensibility is really important.
What do you mean when you say sensibility?
Sensibility, you gotta know what works and what doesn't work, right? Like you can put out mad
Have a
shit.
sense of what's
You gotta
happening.
see, you gotta really just also look at your content and be like, okay, this is not doing well for us. That because what does well for one's platform is not gonna do well for your platform.
That's a fact.
And vice versa.
That's right.
So you gotta
Because
pay attention to how things
your,
do
your
and why.
customers are different. Your
100%.
people watching are different. That's
So
right.
sensibility, you gotta be able to look at shit and be
Right.
like, you know what, this is not working for us.
Awareness,
Let's try
right?
something else.
Being aware. Being aware.
Yep, awareness.
Was there something that didn't work that you was like, all right, we gotta change, we gotta pivot?
Well, for right now, I would say maybe YouTube clips that are about 3 minutes long, right? Because people's attention span is like very short, and I feel like every 3 years it gets shorter and shorter.
Oh my god!
So I think, especially if you're trying to grow a brand, YouTube Shorts are really important because it gets into some type of algorithm, and it could take off. You can get a quick, you can get an easy 50,000 if you cut the right clip. 58 seconds. Yeah, because
it gotta be 50. That's to me that's the hardest. Like I feel like I'm a monster with the Instagram because it's a minute and 30. You hit it to another. I gotta take over extra 30 seconds, and you like, damn, how fast are we getting to the story?
It's
Like,
a pain in the ass. You gotta be like, okay, there was an extra breath here. Let me take that out. Like,
I'm phenomenal with that.
He said no, so let me just get that out. Just one no. Like, it's hard. But if you can manage to do that, YouTube Shorts are really important.
I hate a stutterer. When it comes to that, you be like, oh man, we gotta chop off about 3 of those ones, and you gotta take all of those out, and you be like, God damn. The worst ones is when everybody's talking at the same time, because then it's not smooth.
Yes. That's why I be trying to tell self, stop interrupting people, because when we gotta edit this.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
But you know what though, that I don't know if you could avoid that.
Sometimes it's organic.
Yeah, it's organic. That's why I say that.
That's
why I say that. Sometimes you just can't help that, because that's how people talk. Like you want to get your point across while they talking, so you interrupt sometime, and that happens.
I think though also being behind the camera and doing what we do, right? And because I have to give timestamps. I don't physically edit the video, but I have to chop it up, like take, you know, from 131 to 132. Like, so I think when you do that, you know, because I get organic into my conversation, and sometimes I cut people off, but since I had to do that, I become way more conscious about not cutting people off. Because I'm like, I want to be able to cut this shit correctly without being stressed out. So I'm going to let this person finish, you know what I mean? Like, because I had to do that, so I understand. It's sometimes it's hard when you're like in the heat of the moment, you know?
You be like, oh man, just be quiet, please. I'm trying to cut this, yo. Like, and I mean, and I'm getting extra technical. That's why I like everything on like separate channels and shit like that, because then I can, if somebody's screaming too loud, I can chop them out and shit like that, and make it seem seamlessly, and the person won't even know they cut out. They're just, because the main point is the main point to be heard. Everything in the background is just background noise and shit like that. But how hard was it to be behind the camera to going in front of the camera?
It wasn't hard because I used to also edit videos for XXL too. So that's really where I got my experience from, as far as like chopping stuff up, making clips. So it wasn't really that hard, honestly. Being in front of the camera was a little difficult. My first experience being in front of the camera was at 105.1. So when I had first left XXL, Self was like, yo, come do this. I think it was Fredo Bang interview. I was so nervous because Apartment 5H, right, is just us, but at 105.1 is like the engineer is there, like, you know what I mean?
Live.
Like, Clue may be walking by, and I'm like, I barely said anything that whole interview. I was radio silent. I was just like, I maybe asked maybe 2 questions, and that was it. And Self was like, you gotta get better. You gotta like talk. And you know, and he's like a big personality too. Yeah. So he would try to give me some great, he would be like, yo, do you have any questions? I'm like, you know? And then he had me go back again for Rowdy Rebel. So I did better that time. Because Fredo Bang was my first time ever on camera. I never did on-camera stuff with XXL. So the second time I did Rowdy Rebel, I got a little better about it. And then when it came to Apartment 5H, I did a couple of episodes behind the camera, so I felt a little more comfortable. Yeah. And then I just, honestly, I said, fuck it. I was like, it's do or die. Like, either I do it now or I don't ever do it. Like, that's it. Yeah. So I just ended up going on camera, and when I stopped caring so much, it worked
Yeah.
out.
That happened to us too. Like,
Yeah.
especially them. Like, I had I got on this couch. I mean, them first couple episodes will never air. They will never be seen. But like, even Bug, like, you see Bug, you seen him without the camera. He's turned down compared to when he's off camera. Like, you got to be a little more controlled. We all do. We all do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when he first got on there, he was trying to be serious and shit. I'm like, bruh, you not here to be serious, B.
Because you don't want to make no mistakes.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And you got people judging you, so you don't want to be too out of control.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
Especially if you have people with their team, their team is like watching you extra close.
Yeah,
like, that's
you
mad
don't want to be a jerk. So.
Yeah.
Because that first impression is something else.
I'm trying to crack jokes, Bug ain't laughing. I'm like, bro, you can laugh. It's okay.
Support me and laugh. You laugh, other people gonna laugh.
That's a fact. No, I mean, for me, I was looking at, I got fucking body dysmorphia, so I was like, I got to go to the gym.
Oh my God, stop.
But do
men really worry about that on camera? Because I feel like women do. Like, we're very self-conscious, right? Like, it's like, you got to put on the makeup. You got to make sure you're wearing certain colors that don't make you look fat. Like, do men feel like that too?
Yeah, I definitely
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
I don't want to say that's why I got braces. It just happened at that time. 'Cause I've been wanted braces, but when the pandemic came down, I could, you almost had to wait 2 years before shit opened up.
Right.
And then I graduated. And then it was like, all right, I got the money to do it.
Right.
Because I paid out of pocket for that master's degree.
Okay.
I didn't want school debt lasts forever, so I never wanted that type of debt. But then it was like, all right, you got to pay for the braces, and I had to pay out of pocket all the way. My shit was twisted, so I had to pay a band. I had to pay a couple
Braces
bands.
is no joke. No, braces is no joke. I had braces when I was a teenager. That shit is no joke.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I'll be looking at everything, man. Like, oh no, I gotta. Like, I really was like, and I was like, let me go to the gym before I start looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know. Like, you want to look like you want to be up in there every day, and
it's TV, so you want to be attracted to
exactly
the viewer. The viewer
Right.
has to be attracted. You go to McDonald's, you see somebody that doesn't look a certain type of tie. You don't want the food.
That's a
So
no. That
it's
shit
about
is so
time.
true.
Yes, you have to be like that.
Now
If
I'm
you-
like, give me my chicken nuggets.
Yeah, if you see somebody
Still
with
gonna eat
something on
it?
their
You like, my chicken nuggets anyway.
As long as I see them take it from there to here, and
McDonald's
then
a little different because it's like already packaged. and
Yo,
shit.
I one
You like,
time.
nah,
But you know what he mean
ugly.
though. Like
I
if
don't
you
want
go
my
to a
food no
restaurant
more.
And you see
and they
some
come out there
really
looking
green
nasty, you
ass,
might not want it.
That's
I one
different.
time I went to
Right, that's what
Geno's
he's talking about.
and
McDonald's is a little different, right?
Yeah.
when I go, I went to Geno's in Philly, the cheesesteak spot,
Uh-huh.
and one of the ladies, she had like green teeth or some shit. I was like, no.
She was serving or
And
she
then they
was
breathe
making
it on the
it.
She
food.
was
like-
serving it, but I was just like, I don't really want this person
I know
touching
what's
my
up.
food.
That's understandable.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
understandable. If they're making the food, not just ringing you up, yeah.
No,
that was the waitress. I don't think she was making it, huh?
You talking about the waitress, right?
The lady,
Right.
the counter. I don't
Oh,
know if she was
the
a
register, right,
waiter,
right.
but the person who paying you paying for the food. I don't think she was making it, but
Okay.
I don't want touching my shit
yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah, I can understand.
you know what I'm
that.
saying? So it's like you go to the dentist and they got bad teeth.
Yeah.
You gonna fix?
That's true.
I'm going to the weight doctor. You overweight? Nah, man.
That is
Like, I
It does
get
make a
it,
difference.
huh?
It does make a difference.
So no, I'm like, no, I got to look my best. I ain't trying to go to the doctor to get stitches and shit like that and no fake abs or nothing like that. But I'ma look my best self the way, as best as possible. After that, I can't help you.
well, it's also like taking care of yourself.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
too,
yeah.
yeah. That too. Like,
It just help. I mean, you take care of
It's
yourself.
easy on the eye.
helps.
It's
it
easy on the
is.
eye.
It is.
And it does help.
Yeah.
It does help.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying nobody wants to be that size, but you go a lot further when you look
Presentable.
presentable.
People take you seriously.
Yes. That's
Because
the
even
main
in the
thing.
corporate world, even in the corporate world,
Yeah, that's the main thing. That's the
Yeah.
main thing.
yeah, like down to like your fingertips.
Yeah,
like,
that's a fact. That's a
when
fact.
people see that you take care of yourself, then they take
Yeah.
you seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, there's not too many slovenly, sloppy Fortune 500 CEOs.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a fact.
That is not by accident. That's not coincidental right there. So yeah, men worry about themselves.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
This is why Jeff Bezos became don't look like a dork no more.
You ain't lying about that.
Y'all saw that AI photo of Mark Zuckerberg with the goatee?
No.
I did not see that.
Nah.
Oh, he was looking like a zaddy. I was like, ah.
Like a zaddy.
We have to rethink, you know?
I did not see that one.
You know?
I didn't see that.
Drake goatee, like, yeah.
Yeah, man, I might give him the time of day.
Maybe
Speaking of that, what was it like dating in this industry? Well, while you're in this industry.
I mean, so I was in a really long relationship until like 2020.
Okay.
So
Before 2020.
Before 2020, it was like 15 years. So
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You was in a long relationship before 2020.
Right.
Gotcha.
So since, I mean, it's hard, right? Because it's like you talk to somebody, they find out what you do, all of a sudden they want to slip you like their cousin's demo, right? Or they be like, yo, my cousin is better than whoever you had on the freshman cover. It's
Sure.
like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like you know, I feel like men do worry about women using them, right? Like that is a very valid concern, but women have to worry about that too.
Right.
Because everybody wants to be a rapper.
So this is the guy you was
I
dealing
thought
with.
that was
15
over
years?
with.
Still.
The guy you was dealing with 15 years, he wanted you. Is that?
Oh, I was dealing with him since really young, like before any of this stuff. We were like waiters and waitresses and Applebee's, like type shit.
So this was before you even got into
Right,
that.
I thought he
Yeah.
was the one who was trying to give you his cousin's demo.
No, this was someone I met like probably in 2022 or something like that.
Got you.
Yeah, so you have to be careful because they do try.
A woman of power in music and you're dating another artist or something like that. Like, it
Well,
didn't
I
look
don't-
good at that time.
I don't do that, but I think that sometimes it's like you like who you like. Like and it's easy to do that because it's like we spend so much time working. So naturally you're around people a lot and you see them a lot. And you know, you have commonalities. So I think it's, you know, it's not like a foreign concept, you know. I think things happen. You know, like you have to be careful because automatically it's like, oh, she's doing this, she's doing that.
Yeah,
like-
you're right.
Like who cares? Like
Yeah.
why do you care?
The man cares.
Why does
If that's
go
your
on,
man,
get into this topic.
Yeah,
Why
we
does
about
he
to get in it.
Let's
So
get
here
into
we go.
it.
Here we go.
Why does he care?
Right. If that's your man, he would care. Right? Because you seem like you're moving the same way he's moving. The same way a guy would move. A woman can't move the same way.
Uh-oh.
It just is what it is. A
I
woman
hope
can.
you
Let
can
me
defend
say
yourself
this.
because the
Let me
last
say this.
person you did.
Let me say this. A woman can move that way, but a guy wouldn't be as comfortable with a woman moving the same way he would be moving. It's just simple as that. That's just nature.
I mean, I want to defend myself.
Please
but-
do.
but
I don't fully agree with that at all. So
See,
I
there
want
you
to
go.
defend myself, but I know that a good majority of men do feel that way,
It is what it is.
and because of their ego.
does that make it true if they all feel that way?
It
I
makes
mean,
it,
I
yeah,
can't.
it makes it true
if
that
that's what
men
they
feel
feel,
that way.
I
Yes.
can't. Right, that's what they feel.
It makes it
I
true that
can't-
men feel that way. Is it true?
I'm not saying it's right.
It's true that men feel that way.
Men do feel that way.
It's simple
I don't
as
think
that.
it's right.
Simple as that. It's
I-
true that men feel that
All right,
way.
you give, yeah, that's
And
that's
I'm a
true.
guy who
That's
feels
true.
that way. I'm with the regular men.
Yeah.
Okay, but in
Wait.
Exactly.
He said, what the other men then?
Yeah.
You don't agree? You ain't a regular guy.
What do you mean by? Because there are some men that, now, forgive me for saying this, but that way of thinking isn't very progressive.
What do you mean?
Progressive men, as long as she's not sleeping with everyone you know, like,
How do you know that? And that's where
because
the
a
thing
lot of the
comes.
times men will, sorry to say, men pillow talk. And men like to talk about their experiences with women. As much as they say that women are the ones that talk a lot, y'all men talk a lot.
That's a fact.
And y'all be haters sometimes. You be like, oh, she looks happy with this guy. Let me fuck it up and go tell him that I had it first. Look, who did that?
Ray
Did
J.
it
Ray J. I hit it
Hello?
first. I hit it first.
So I think as long as whatever she did, if it's not coming back to you and you're not looking crazy, then you shouldn't really care because
Whoa.
people are people and they have experiences.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't think people want to wait till it comes back to them till they start reacting. It's prevention. We start dealing with prevention. As long as she's over here in the mountain somewhere, up in Budapest somewhere where nobody can.
That's gonna be a different type of female, though.
You're absolutely correct about
so,
that. Right,
I mean,
right,
if that's okay. So that's depends. If you're dealing with a certain type of female, you have to understand that she's dated.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she has to have a laundry list of partners. I'm not saying that, but you have to understand that she has dated other people.
I think all of that comes with like it's all case by case, and once somebody feels comfortable enough, it's a different story. But if somebody's put in a position where they're not felt comfortable enough, then yeah, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that insecurity. You're gonna have somebody always asking those questions, depending on how somebody carried themselves. That's just
I think that it depends. I think that in some, like, if a woman carries herself a certain way, like,
you're gonna always have those questions.
It shouldn't matter.
What?
I mean, you will have those questions, but
all right.
Let's agree to disagree.
I'm with you. We agree to disagree. I'm not gonna fight with you because I think we kind of agree. Well, you know what I mean. But you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say men do feel that way.
Right.
I'm not saying it's right, but they do.
Right.
Like Chris Rock.
You said like Chris Rock? What do you mean?
Well, he said, I don't condone it, but I understand.
Oh, I know that one. You talking about OJ?
No,
that's when he was talking about OJ.
What he was talking
that's
about.
when he was talking about. Yeah, that one.
Gotta make that clear.
We're not gonna do
Publicist hat. Gotta make that clear.
Yeah, true. We wasn't. Don't want to do that. What's next?
What is next for me? Well, I still want to build Apartment 5H
to
get it to the next level, and building my publicity company and getting it to the next level.
How hard is that? Hard? Like that sounds like a lot of legwork. That publicity.
It is, because you have to always be seen. You have to always like keep clients. Sometimes the cycle runs out. A client doesn't have anything going on. You have to move on to the next. So you always have to be seen. You have to go to these events. You have to go to the places that people be at, because out of sight, out of mind. So it does get tiring, but I do love it.
Yeah.
And then I guess building those relationships and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's if anything, that's the most fun part for me, just to build relationships with people. I mean, I hate literally physically talking to somebody on the phone. Like I can text and I like to see people in person, but like talking to them on the phone, like I'm doing something always. You know what I'm saying? Only people I want to talk to on the phone is my business partners. Bug Out, G, Prime. That's it. As far as industry people, but anybody else, I can text you or we got business, let's meet up. I don't really want to I don't want to be on the phone with nobody. I'm working. I always got some work to do. I'm always backed up. There's some shit to edit. There's some shit to
always
post.
something to do. Always something to do.
Always. And how do you feel about social media?
I think that it's gotten to the point where it's super toxic, but it's also super necessary. It's kind of like your resume now in the industry, right? It's like that's what people look at. Even when I pitch artists, it's like, or clients, should I say? It's like, make sure your social media looks like this. Don't have guns on there. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's your portfolio.
Guns. You gotta tell somebody.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. If you want to get verified, you may not want to have a machine gun on your.
That might work.
So you turn. So Bianca, you turn people down?
Have I turned people down? I'm trying to think. I haven't yet. I've had to like cancel certain contracts or not be able to renew, because sometimes it's like I got to pick up someone new if I don't know someone's going to renew, and then they want to renew, and it's like, well, I already took this person. I also have to make sure that I'm not overexerting myself either. Because it's easy to be like, yes, and all of a sudden I get off more than I
then
can
you're
chew.
like, you're overwhelmed.
You can't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you deliver quality work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you can't stretch yourself thin.
I got you. You got room for more clients?
At this, I just picked up 2 more. So I probably don't, but in June I will.
Okay.
In June I will.
In June, right? When are you putting things for asking on your list?
Yeah. I never asked for that,
What
but
you doing? I was
we thought we was getting that.
Thanks for asking. What's your budget? No, I'm just joking.
No, you ain't joking. You're not joking.
I like that.
Let her be joking. Let her be joking. What's your budget? I'm only playing. That's right.
No,
only be playing.
What's your budget? We'll talk later.
Nah,
but
you
that's
just
a
said you
fact.
was playing.
I'll work with you.
You
No
just said
doubt.
you was
That's
playing.
right.
Oh, you work with us. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Bianca, just thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
From the first time we seen, it was like, oh man, she's dope, and I was like, oh, I kind of want her on the show, like, because I didn't know you before. Like I seen you on 5H, but I was like, who is this person? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, and
right.
to me, that's why I like doing podcasts, because I'm so intrigued about people, and I like to have conversations with them. I talk all day to everybody. Why not do it on camera?
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, the fact that you came out here and showed us love, and you didn't have to do this. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you a big.
And you was kind of down, right? You was like,
A little bit, but
Let me ask you this though.
saying?
You think I don't want to cut you off though?
Of course
think
you do.
Come over there. I like her, right?
Yeah.
You might could come by and maybe hold some of our shows. Maybe you know. You think you
yeah,
come
let
by
me
and do
know. I'm down.
that? We'll definitely let you know. We'll
I'll
get in
be around.
contact with them.
All right. I don't like to promote on the camera, but just thank you, and we appreciate everything you do, and I'm
you.
inspired by what you do. So I don't know if y'all inspired, but you know, when I'm inspired by people, and I don't want to say I copy, but if they got something that's dope, or I'm integrating that into the program.
Yeah, as you should.
You know what I'm saying?
As you should. As you
Whatever.
should. But that's what you should be doing
Yeah,
too. Is
exactly.
like looking at other things
Yeah.
and seeing what we're like and
That's
trying
right.
them out. Like
Yeah.
that's what this
Right,
business is
right,
about.
right.
yeah.
Exactly. So just thank you for coming.
Of course.
Always
Thank you for having me.
Indeed.
Thanks for asking.
I'm Detox. That's Bug Out. That's G-Vaz. Prime is somewhere on the boards. This is the one and only Bianca. You're now watching the Thanks for Asking show. We out. Peace.
What's up? This is Bianca Torres from Apartment 5H. I'm here with Thanks for Asking. And tune in, like, comment, subscribe.